What's good, sports fans? Today I wanted to come to you with my countdown of the top 5 teams that were just that close, oh, you almost had it. Those teams in the NBA since 1990 that did not win a ring. Those top 5 teams, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Those top 5 teams that were just that close since 1990. Number 5, the 2012-2013 San Antonio Spurs. All right, so in that regular season, they went 58-24. They were led by Tony Parker, who averaged over 20 points per game, shot over 50% from the field, also got you a good number of assists there. Their second leading scorer was Tim Duncan. Third leading scorer was a very young Kawhi Leonard, shutdown defender. They had a very balanced team with over 6 people who averaged in double figures and went straight through the Western Conference. Only lost 2 games prior to going to the NBA Finals where they met up with the Miami Heat. LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and one of the most clutch shots in history was hit in that NBA Finals to keep them from winning the championship. Ray Allen with the step back 3 as he's getting the ball from Chris Bosh after the offensive rebound. Swoosh, game 6, and they went on to game 7 to lose to Miami. So number 5, the San Antonio Spurs of 2012 and 2013. Number 4. The 92-93 Phoenix Suns. They finished that season 62-20, were first in points per game, and they had 7 players that averaged over 10 points per game that year. Of course, led by the MVP of the 93 season, Charles Barkley, getting you over 25 points per game, 12 rebounds, shooting a very high percentage from the field. They also had Kevin Johnson getting you 16 points, 7 assists, Dan Marley getting you over 16 points as well, and Danny Ainge, Serge Ceballos. Very balanced squad that was good on both ends of the floor. At a higher pace than you would think for a Charles Barkley team at that point. A lot of people think of Charles Barkley as the guy who just slows it down, pounds in the paint. But they had a very good pace for that team. They ran into a very good Supersonics team in the Western Conference Finals and had to beat them in 7 games to get to the finals, where they eventually lost to the Chicago Bulls, prime Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, those guys. Very tough team to beat. So you got to give respect to the Phoenix Suns of the 92-93 season at number 4. Number 3, the 95-96 Seattle Supersonics. Now that team finished that season 64-18, went into the playoffs. They swept the defending champion Houston Rockets in the second round, ran into a very good Utah Jazz team led by John Stockton, Karl Malone, beat them in the Western Conference Finals in a grueling series, and then went on to lose to the 72-win Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper, Steve Kerr. The team was just dumb. And it's no shame to lose to that team. When you think about the 95-96 Seattle Supersonics, you had Defensive Player of the Year Gary Payton getting you 19 points a game, almost 3 steals a game, shooting a very good percentage. You had Sean Kemp getting you 19 points, over 10 boards, shooting a very high percentage as well. You had shooters to spread the floor in Detlaw Stremp and Hershey Hawkins and Sam Perkins. The 95-96 Seattle Supersonics is a very good team that definitely should have won a championship, but of course they ran into Michael Jordan, who ruled. Number 2, the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. Right now, this team was first in the Western Conference, and that's in a year where you had Shaq and Kobe. They were going for a 3-peat. So it was a very deep Western Conference that year that they came number 1 in. Go to the playoffs. They lose to the Los Angeles Lakers in 7 games. You all remember the infamous Game 6 that happened with all the foul calls. And we're not going to go too much into it, but you can make a case they should be champions right now. But they were led by Chris Webber, Mike Bibby. Peja Stojakovic was an all-star that year. You had a young Hedo Turkoglu, Vlade Divac, Bobby Jackson. Very deep squad. Sacramento was so much fun to watch because you had great passing big men like Vlade Divac and Chris Webber that could lead your offense, while Mike Bibby was a mid-range killer. Peja was killing from everywhere. You think of Peja as a 3-point shooter, but you don't average over 20 points a game just being a 3-point shooter. That team was one of the greatest of all time. Too bad they couldn't get a ring, but Shaq and Kobe were. So who was the best team to get this close? I got to go with the 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors. The team went 73-9. They defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder in an epic Western Conference Finals where they had to come back from 3-1, and then lost in the NBA Finals where they were up 3-1, and LeBron and Kyrie had to both go absolutely nuts in games 5, 6, and 7. Not to mention Draymond Green got suspended for a game during the NBA Finals as well. If you remember that season, man, Steph Curry, his stats were absolutely nuts. Unanimous MVP. You know, you had Draymond Green who finished second in Defensive Player of the Year rankings that season. That team was deep as well with Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, Leandro Barbosa. They had a very good squad, not to mention Klay Thompson, who was just knocking down shots like it was nothing that season. It's crazy that team didn't win, and the fact that that team did not win led to Kevin Durant joining them the next season, which changed the NBA. And now let me just recap the list for you. So these are the top 5 teams, according to me, that were just this close in the NBA since 1990. Number 5, the 2012-2013 San Antonio Spurs. Number 4, the 92-93 Phoenix Suns. Number 3, the 95-96 Seattle Supersonics. Number 2, the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. And number 1, the 2015-16 Golden State Warriors. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please share it with your friends. Don't be selfish with it. Please subscribe to not only the YouTube channel or IGTV, wherever you're watching it, but please subscribe to the podcast. The Real Deal with Damian Adams podcast is available everywhere you listen to podcasts. And until next time, go real or go home.